Prognosis is different. I just have to slip home unseen and untouched, unheard in the realms of the devil. Let us away, say that our vaginas are now closed to evil, and our penises are open to only pure advances into the completely vaginal free space. Vaginas don't need to be anywhere near my little pee-pee. Vaginas don't need to be anywhere near my tiny pee-pee. That's from a song I wrote called Vaginas Don't Need to Be Anywhere Near My Little Pee-pee. It didn't make it to, well, anywhere, but now you've heard it and you will be a changed person, I'm sure. Vaginas don't need to be anywhere near me. Ooh, because I just want to keep my little pee-pee. Vaginas don't need to be, oh no, anywhere near my little pee-pee. Anywhere near my little pee-pee. It's quite catchy. Try singing it with me. Vaginas don't ever need to be anywhere near my little pee-pee. There you go. That balances out the energy of the entire world. Put away your guns. Punch your last time clock. I think I had a time card once. Where did I have a time card? I think it was like a telemarketing office. I had a fucking time card. Oh, that was creepy. I hate working. I never found a job that I liked. Somebody asked me, like, why don't you work? I never found a job that I liked. I just want to like doing something. I don't care if I make $2,000 a month or $20,000 a month. Give me something to do that I like doing, and I'll do it. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I don't travel. I don't like to leave my mother for longer than an hour or two. Don't make me go anywhere near a little pee-pee. Oh, a little pee-pee. Hey, a little pee-pee, little pee-pee, little pee-pee, little pee-pee. It's so little you don't ever need me. You don't need to be around my little pee-pee. If you've got a vajayjay and you're feeling alone, you really don't need my tiny little bone. You really don't need my tiny little bone. You really don't need my tiny little bone. No, you really don't need my tiny pee-pee. If you've got breasts and a hidden need for my giant 1-inch little pee-pee, you really don't need my little pee-pee. It doesn't even get hard, not even for thee. You really don't want my tiny pee-pee. No, you really don't want my tiny pee-pee. If you've got a giant vajayjay on a tiny little pom-pom, I don't want thee. If it's fuzzy or if it's not, I don't want to show it my tiny little cock. I don't want to sell it my tiny little cock. My jack in the box is just a little crock of just a tiny little pee-pee. Boom, ba-doo, 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 boo, ba-doo, doo, ba-doo, bop, ba-doo, ba-doo, bop, 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 ba-doo, 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 bop, bop, bop. Yeah, you really don't want my little pee-pee. No, you really don't want, you really don't want. You can go to school and you can go to your job and you're never gonna miss this tiny little crisscross, my tiny little beep beep. It's so wrong, it's so bad and small that you don't ever wanna sing a single note. My little pee pee, the song I wrote. You're never gonna wanna hear a single note. That's my message to the Earth's women. All primates between the age of 13 and 103. I only want a 104-year-old supermodel. That's it. You need to have 104 years of experience and to be totally chaste. I want a chaste 104-year-old white woman with an Amazonian bronze tan who's double jointed and can eat 16 bananas in 13 seconds. Oh, those are the basic requirements. You will, of course, have to improve that if you're going to get through Landon Basic Training School and become awarded with a certificate of distinction qualifying you to be my girlfriend. Oh, you don't want to see my little pee-pee. Oh, you don't want to see my little pee-pee. You'll just laugh. You'll go, hee, 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 hee. It's just such a tiny little pee-pee-pee. Ooh, I don't think they'll stick that in me. It's just a tiny, tiny little pee-pee-pee. Wow, I thought you were lying. It's really small. Even among the ants, it's not. I can barely see it without a microscope. I may be lying, but I think there's hope. Oh, that's hilarious. Singing a song about my giant, tiny penis. There's a movie called My Giant, in brackets, Tiny Penis. I have a giant, tiny penis. For tiny penises, it stands head and shoulders above all other miniature penises. It's several 0.5 times, several 0.001 times the smallest penises in the world. And that's when it's fully erect. Don't worry, I'll never be in the way. Right? I won't affect the slipstream. You know what I'm saying? An aerial, a tiny little nub of an antenna on a jet plane produces more friction than this thing at high speed. You know what I'm saying? There's no drag on here. There's no drag, baby. Blow on it at 200 miles per hour. No drag. It'll just crawl back up inside my body. I'm smooth as a Ken doll. What's your sexuality? I'm smooth as a Ken doll. I'd like to be smooth as a Ken doll. One day I want to rub my hands down there and just be nothing there and be like, oh, finally, I'm free. No more genitalia. I'm totally off the market. I'm no use to anyone. I would just wear a kilt, and then whenever the woman looked at me, I would lift the kilt, and she would just be like, oh my God, and she'd never look at me again. She'll tell her friends, like, he lifted his kilt, and there was nothing there. He was smooth like a Ken doll. No, seriously, you should go look. I can make my money from lawsuits for sexual harassment. But, Your Honor, this man doesn't have any genitalia. How can he be sexually harassed? Your Honor, I want to cite Roe versus Wade. There's probably a universe where Roe versus Wade is the only legal precedent in human history. Right? Do you want to row or do you want to wade? Roe versus Wade, Roe versus Wade, then the Lord did come, then the Lord. It's kind of a theory of masturbation. Roe versus Wade. You row and then you wade. You row and then you wade. You row, you wade. You row. You know what I mean, right? It's a penis metaphor. It only makes sense that the penal system would have a penis-related metaphor as its number one legal precedent. Your Honor, I'd like to cite the number one penile legal precedent, Cockhead file number 166. That a penis that is engorged is not responsible for any hole into which it inserts itself. Send this man to jail for life, if you will, but let his penis be removed and put on another person who needs a penis. I'd like to be a lawyer for men's penises, right? Contrary to popular belief, my client does not have a mind of his own. He only can do what his master tells him to. He's, he's a victim in this, Your Honor. A dupe. An unwilling participant. He's a victim, really. He's a victim. He throws himself of the court and moves himself around slowly and then until Your Honor comes. Order in the court. Order in the court. Well, I'd like to cite Slippery When Wet from 1946. If you can sufficiently arouse the judge, you win. If you can arouse me more than the wind, a cloudy day when my friend is waiting for me. Woo, woo, like a warm cup of tea. Woo, woo. And she's gonna listen to me. I'll listen to her. We'll talk February to December. The calendar will change from day to day. The months and the pages in a sacred way. And we'll hang out for many a day. And it will seem like it never went away. There's never anything like your best friend. And that's the way it's always been. I like nature because she's my friend, so that my friends are like nature, and that's a way to know. When you're true, you've gotta be gold, like the tallest green boughs, and the sounds out of our mouths, the stirring of bark from the sick, out of whom the sun doth rise, and our voices curling like smoke in the sky. The sounds of the birds and beasts are telling us don't be shy. The earth can tell alone or afraid. When you know the truth, you've got it made. Nature you and knows when you're good, and everything you went through to get home and safe and sound. 'Cause any path you can take, full of a world of such hate. Know if you're gonna get home or just be very late. You may leave home one day and never come back until you walk many miles on the lane. You ever get the feeling that one day you're going to hear a distant car horn over and over and over, and you're going to realize you've been staring at the ground for like 15 minutes, and all these traffic are stopped and people are yelling at you? And you're like, holy shit, it finally happened. I've completely tuned out of the world, and now I've become nothing but an old nuisance. Maybe I should stand here. Does anyone see that there's a wet spot running down my pants? Oops, I think something else just gave way. And as you shuffle along the ground, little bits of shit are coming up from under your jeans or your slacks. And you're like, it's okay, I'm old. People are looking at you with disgust, some with pity, some just can't look at all. Look away and just think about anything but the horrible thing they just saw. And you'll think, that's it, that's the sum of my life. A cautionary tale that makes children cry. Because he can't cross the road without shitting and pissing himself. Oh, that's lovely. Just saw an eagle, people. You know what that means. Eagles fly. Eagles fly. And I don't know why. When the eagles fly, they touch the sky. Poems so bad, you start to like your dad again. It's like, what did y'all make poems so bad that you love your dad again? It's like, Dad, my dad was a man with such big, hairy hands that when he punched me, it left DNA on my face. And so I wrote this poem called DNA on My Face. Hey, Dad, you left your DNA on. It was the scene of a crime that made my face feel slime. I had so much acne, people thought I was a burn victim. But also, I was also a victim of other unwanted touching. And so it kind of made sense that just like there are planets and rings around Uranus, that my face should blow up with pus. Father, I was very angry, and now I just boil with a subtle level of lonely, bitter pain that doesn't allow me to escape the very real fear that one day I'll just be Boxcar Larry, giving blowjobs from city to city. My mouth will be my passport, and filth and uninterrupted personal oblivion will be my home. And all and everyone will be gone, and I'll be alone until I die. And then I'll just float above my body and be like, what a relief. What a relief. I'm free. I'm so free. I'm so free. I'm so free. I don't even know what pain is anymore. I need to go. I need to go home. I need to go home. And I don't want to go so far from home that I have to die to go home. Don't die to go home, people. Don't die to do anything. Just go home. And yet, how can I ask you not to die when we die and come back to life every day? And make your home a place made of the most beautiful kinds of ways and wreaths of ways where you and yours died and came back to life, and no one even acknowledged them. No one was allowed to. Some parasite called the world, or your father, or someone just wouldn't let anyone be acknowledged. There was a gulf in the acknowledgement of the extraordinary labors of those whose labors could be besmirched, overused, underappreciated. And what was left of the pneuma of the family, after given what it had to give its God, there was nothing left to give each other, but to fulfill inexplicable expectations. Say no to that. Say no to that. Acknowledge all your labors and how important you are and everything you do to survive. Certainly there are bounds to that. Certainly there is a power that might be dreadful to some people to acknowledge everyone's labors. Certainly all of yours. And let's face it, your labors are probably more important than anybody's. Nobody can do your labors. No one can do your job. No one can survive the way you do. No one's had to survive what you have had to survive. Because survival is different for everyone, and everything is different for everyone. In the worst of worlds and the best of worlds. And that it's different can be difficult, and that it's different can be good. The greatest people in your life are going to listen to you. And they're going to feel like there's something that helps them recollect heaven and what life is supposed to be like. Listening, you talk about your life because you kept your voice alive. That was your secret. go where your voice goes. And where your voice goes, your spirit will live. And so we say, how does my voice really go to my children and my brothers and sisters? Who will carry my voice to them but the raven, the wind, the sea, and the spirit and the medicine of the whale and the wolf, and every living, crawling, breathing thing that carries forth the pneuma of that spirit? My pneuma shall be carried forth. The pneuma which knew and respected that pneuma. That pneuma whose proportions first pressed himself upon my pneuma, that whatever this world should press upon me, and whatever my pneuma it should take or besmirch or silence or eliminate from its needful and harried thoughts and labors and obsessions and pains and agonies. I shall remember that pneuma. I shall speak to honor that pneuma. I don't curse that pneuma to but a memory, but let its living spirit fall from my lips, and then I shall say that my occupation is sound. And I shall say that knowing that there are many who should not judge aright my labors, whose wrongs I turn aright, with that and these of mine own heart, and my mother's